Imagine, for a second, a YouTube future where you can directly message a channel and have a private conversation as if it were Instagram, Threads or Twix. Yeah, imagine no more. Probably. Now in truth, we don't have to imagine this at all. Direct messaging on YouTube has been a thing in the past. All the way back in the early days, you could not only subscribe, but add friends, chat, and hell, you even had an inbox to mess around with. Their most recent attempt was back in 2017 when Google Plus was still a thing. It seemed to have all of the features of a modern day direct messaging system, and it worked on mobile. Just 2 years later, YouTube killed it. Their reasoning at the time was that they wanted to focus on improving public conversations, which might explain the emergence of the community feature over the last 5 years, but doesn't explain why comment moderation on videos is still a complete mess. So why is it coming back? Well, according to this post on YouTube's test feature and experiments page, it's a top feature request. Presumably since YouTube themselves got rid of it last time. A poll we ran with our YouTube community suggests that 2/3 of you think this is a good idea. The comments range from wildly positive to intriguing ideas around it being made for channel members only or exclusively for creator-to-creator chat, to full-blown concerns around spam and permissions. So let's dive into the detail of what's coming by first talking about the release of this feature, which is just plain weird. Initially, YouTube are test launching this feature in 2 countries. I'll give you a moment to guess which 2 countries they are in the comments below by first mentioning that there's already a spec'd out help page on the feature on YouTube's support website, which will be handy to all of you Irish and Polish creators out there. Usually, YouTube tests new features in big markets or specific countries for specific reasons. But I can't for the life of me think why Ireland and Poland would be ideal candidates to test this feature out. Lucky for them, I guess. Or unlucky, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, of course, you can chat directly with us, other YouTubers, ask for feedback, share your struggles as a creator, and then help motivate others on the same journey as you over at the vidIQ Discord community. There's a link in the description, join now. As of time of recording, no Irish or Polish creators have come forward with any images or videos of this DM tool, so we're solely relying on the support pages at YouTube to let you know how this works. Now, I think the first thing to mention, and probably the most important one, is that although this is a direct messaging feature, there looks to be quite a lot of friction to get to that point. It starts by clicking the notification bell, which I assume means this notification bell and not the one when you subscribe to a YouTube channel. You'll then have the option to invite others to share videos, which creates a link. Then you have to share that link with whoever you want to invite, and this is where the big hurdle is. This is because, somewhat obviously, in order to share this link with someone, you'll have to communicate with them off the YouTube platform because you don't have access to DMs yet. Sounds clunky, yes, but it does make quite a lot of sense. Just imagine for a moment if anybody could invite themselves to chat with Mr. Beast and that invitation notification was done within the YouTube platform. Yeah, his channel would drown under notifications for the rest of time. By having to communicate with somebody off of YouTube at first to share the link, I think does create a much higher barrier to entry to random spam and unwanted communication. Once you have shared the link, whoever gets it will then have the option to accept or decline messaging within YouTube. I appreciate that this is all a little tricky to visualize, but fortunately we have a recent similar example in the form of collaborations. When you want to collaborate a video with another channel, you have to share a link and they have to accept. It stops random channels from collaborating with anyone, but the difference here is that the link creates a relationship between one video and one channel. However, when it comes to DMs, it sounds like the link creates a relationship between me and whoever has that link. So what happens if that link gets leaked? Wouldn't that mean that anybody who has that link can accept the invite and then start DMing me? The answer would appear to be yes, which is quite troubling. If that were to happen, the failsafe is that the link is only valid for 7 days before it expires. But a leaked link on social media, depending on the size of a channel, could do a lot of damage in that time. Now, it should be noted that there are tons of tools for blocking someone from DMs, reporting conversations, and reporting channels. And this obviously is because YouTube needs to be super careful about private DMing when it comes to children and/or vulnerable people being exploited by such features. And so regardless of when this feature is rolled out to countries beyond Ireland and Poland, you must be over the age of 18 to have access to the DM feature. However, there is no mention of whether a channel needs to be monetized or a minimum number of subscribers. You know, the usual type of things we expect as creators. And that's when you have to realize that this isn't a creator-only tool. Essentially, YouTube wants anybody with a YouTube account, whether they create content or not, to be able to DM someone else. Now this, I understand completely, but shouldn't there be some sort of minimum requirement of YouTube account age of, let's say, 3 months? Again, if we go back to the idea of my DM sharing link getting leaked, what is there to stop somebody creating a YouTube account in 5 minutes and then sliding worryingly into my DMs? As mentioned earlier, there are no screenshots to get an idea of what this messaging service will look like. The support pages talk about an inbox, sharing content, and sharing channel details, which sounds a bit weird because isn't all of that public information anyway? There is, however, no mention of any of the typical DM tools that we'd expect, such as sending GIFs, pictures, sharing files. Given the infancy of a feature and the sensitivity of those types of tools on a platform that is used by a ton of kids, we'll just assume that none of that stuff is available right now. As for whether these DMs are encrypted, this is what YouTube has to say. To keep conversations secure, video shares and messages are encrypted as they are sent and stored. However, by messaging on YouTube, you accept that messages may be reviewed to ensure that they follow our community guidelines. I think that means no. This layered approach will help us to create a safer environment while protecting users' privacy. I'm not sure that will satisfy privacy advocates, but hey, at least your DMs won't be used for targeting ads. I think what worries me more about that statement is that YouTube had to make it in the first place. I'll confess, it does feel like I'm trashing this DM tool a little bit too much before I've actually even seen it. Obviously, it has clear benefits. If you already have a great relationship with a creator, it would be awesome to get those conversations on platform so that you know you're talking to the verified YouTube channel. But obviously, you're gonna need to use your common sense. It won't be long before bad actors are trying to get you to buy cryptocurrency or send them money to monetize your channel, or companies telling you they'll send you out products and pay you thousands of dollars in sponsorships for opportunities that seem too good to be true. Spoiler alert, they probably are. But ultimately, with the announcement of this feature, is this another giant leap in transforming YouTube from a video platform into an all-encompassing social media platform? It is private messaging, yes, but with very limited capabilities and a very watchful eye from the YouTube overlords. So maybe we're not there just yet. Either way, I'd love to read your messages, publicly of course, in the comments below. Hell, I'll even do some voice replies to some of them, now we've got that feature. Yes!